What's going on? Matt Malatesta here, the VYPE Coaches Corner again. Matt Roberson, Cypress Christian Softball. Who would have
Cypress
thought?
Christian School. I know. It's been
Coach,
great.
Welcome. Tell me about your road to a TAPS Final Four. I know it's been crazy because y'all weren't really big into softball and didn't have a lot of success a couple years back. You come in, change the culture. What has happened since you've been there?
Yeah, the cultures, I think, has always had potential to be there, but it was just really the interest in the game. And, so many multi-sport athletes with smaller schools that you fight for talent. And you're trying to figure out which way is up. And so it was a little challenging there a couple of years ago. And then we thought we had a really good opportunity to kind of start building some things, and COVID hit and shut that whole season down. So, it has been a little bit of a whirlwind for us. But, sometimes it's just, you're at the right place at the right time. And we had a lot of girls who were interested and athletically able. They just need a little bit of pushing in the right direction. And then we've got the funny thing about our coaching staff, I have to say this, Matt, we have 4 coaches, all male, all girl dads. There's not one son amongst us. And so we just had this desire to see, our girls succeed and do what they love to do. And so all of us kind of have a dog in the hunt, if you will, but then there's this whole other culture behind it that we've got the chance to build over the last, I would say, really 3 seasons. It's really done some pretty remarkable things.
So X's and O's, you're coaching them up. You were saying a minute ago, you're learning softball on the fly a little bit on YouTube videos, but what are you teaching these girls off the field? What are some of the life lessons you're really trying to accentuate with them?
Yeah, one of the advantages of being in a private school is that you can set the culture from whatever angle you really need to. I know that there's some challenges for public school coaches out there, and I don't envy that. That's tough. For us, it's an unapologetically faith-based situation. So we get to take some of the biblical values and try to apply those in sports setting, and that's an advantage for us. So we talk to the girls even this year. We talk a lot about the fact that character comes number 1, competency is second. So if you're going to be a great softball player, that's good. But if you're going to be an amazing human being, your character's got to rise above those things. And so that on the field, that talks about how they treat coaches and respect authority. That's how they respect themselves, how they treat each other, but also even how they treat themselves individually. And then it carries over, right? Because they've got to do school the right way. They've got to execute so that they're able to come out on the field and play. And we just have, in my opinion, we've got one of the most amazing groups of unified girls. Yeah, we've got our drama and we've got things that, but they go to each other and they work those things out and they really fight for the relationship above everything else. And there's not a better group of girls to coach. I'll tell you that. It's pretty great.
What has the ride been? How fun is it, and how excited are they as they continue to have success down the road, reaching the TAPS Final Four? Just talk about what that ride's been as a dad and as a coach, and really kind of seeing the bus rides home and how fun they are.
Yeah. It's a great question, Matt. Last year we actually got to the Final Four totally unexpectedly. We didn't get to play as many games as we had hoped, but they peaked at the right time of the season, and the talent was there, and they just started winning, and it was pretty impressive. But when we got to the state Final Four, we recognized that we were a little bit out of our league. The schools that we were facing, number one, were just so dominant. I mean, incredibly gifted girls, and had been playing, obviously, whether it was club ball in different places or whatever. And we do have a couple of club players on our team, but the vast majority of our players, this is it. It's school ball. This is what they do. I think on a team of 16, I probably have 3, maybe 4 that play on a club team, but everybody else, they're coming from basketball to here, or from track to here, or whatever. So last year that was totally unexpected, and we were super excited. And we got beat pretty handily in the semifinal round last year. And so that came with, I think it whet our appetite for this season. And we did have a couple of freshmen, quite a few freshmen that came on that were very gifted athletes. And so we got kind of, again, like I said, kind of at the right place at the right time. We had an expectation that we were going to do well. The girls were super excited. We're just waiting for softball season to start. We started as early as we could. We played as many games as we possibly could. But then something happened this season that we didn't expect. I mean, we scheduled last year. So here's the thing, Matt. We played 9 total games last year and then went to state. This year we've played 20, whatever it is, 23, 24 games. And we were expecting and trying to schedule some opponents that would really take it to us and handle us and draw us up. But, you know, our girls, through all of that, I don't have the game totals in my head right now, but they've only lost 4 games, and all 4 of those losses were against teams that were just head and shoulders, you know, above us from a lot bigger schools. And so we kind of were expecting to be about at 500 this time of the season, but right now, you know, we're not. We came into the last couple of rounds, even to the playoffs, sweating bullets a little bit. My daughter is one of those. No, I think she's probably one of our top 3 or 4 players. She's a catcher, third baseman, plays a little middle infielder. She broke her wrist literally in the tournament right before the playoffs started, and it just, man, as a dad, it was crushing. It was a crushing blow because it's the second year in a row she's going to miss this postseason run. And so I was frustrated, and it just hit me as a coach. You know, it's like you don't do this just because you're a father. You don't do this just because you love your own kid. You start building relationships with all of these girls, and their families have been so resilient, and they're great people. And we've kind of used that as a little bit of a rally. And then to watch her lead has been great, and watch the other girls, you know, our pitcher, our shortstop, first baseman have stepped up big time, and they continued to push the thing forward. So we hit our first round in the playoffs, and we won handily, and kind of looked at each other like, okay, we've got this. And we played a team that run ruled us in the semifinals to go to the tournament, and we run ruled them, which is a crazy thing for us. So yeah, for us to be back in this position it's a whirlwind, to say the least. And but we're excited. I got butterflies for sure, but that's all right, man. Sometimes you just you learn, as we were coached by someone else, you just learn to embrace those things.
And finally, hey, give us some of your headliners. Who are we looking for going into the TAPS Final Four?
Yeah, you know, probably one of our top players, 3 that I would say be looking for. Number 1, Sarah Olenek is our shortstop. She's a sophomore and just an incredible athlete. So just watch out for what she does. She plays the game no matter where she's at, runs the bases incredibly well, and her acumen for the game is incredible. Lucy Davis is our pitcher, but also plays a little bit of third, and she'll be starting the game for us. And so if she's dialed in, we always have a chance to win. And so we're looking forward to what she does, and she can also hit the ball out of the park, which is fun to watch too. And then we have a freshman that I say everybody needs to watch out for, number 7, Megan Smith, and she's a lefty, and I'm telling you what, you never know whether she's gonna bunt the ball down the line or hit it over the fence. I mean, she's just got so many weapons out there. So we're excited. I think if we play defensively sound ball, I think we got a chance to beat anybody. So I'm excited to bring it on.
Well, hey, big things happen over at Cypress Christian. Football has been tremendous. Softball now getting in the mix. Just a great balance of tremendous sports. Y'all are moving into a new location. That's exciting as well. So, hey, big things happening at Cypress Christian. This is Matt Roberson, the softball coach, as they go in to the TAPS Final Four this week on Friday. 2nd year in a row. All right, Coach. Fingers crossed, man. Houston is rooting for you. This is Matt with VYPE. We'll see you at the games.
Thank you.